Welcome back, everyone, to our heart-powered, inspiring interview series. And every time we introduce you to another, thought leader, an expert, an entrepreneur that shares their insights and their best practices so that you can step up in a greater way as well. Today, we have an amazing lady, and her name is Jessica Brown, and she is running an online and in-person Japanese conversation community called Nihongo Connection. I love the name already. When she came back from Japan in 2005, her Japanese was, at the intermediate level, and despite weekly Japanese lessons, she craved more opportunities to really speak Japanese. And in 2014, she started a Japanese conversation club that and quite a few of her Japanese friends heard about it, and about what she was doing, and they came along to support her and her tribe. And in 2017, their members suggested that she starts an online conversation club too, and now she has really a growing and thriving online community. And they arrange weekly online conversation club calls in Japanese, supporting and introducing Japanese speakers from around the world. And if you ever wanted to learn Japanese, or you want to tap into that culture or learn more about it, you definitely want to connect with Jessica. And even if you don't want to learn Japanese, there's a lot you can learn from Jessica. So Jessica, first of all, welcome with us on this heart-powered inspiring interview. It's great to have you.
Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be invited. Thank you.
Great. I definitely have not been greeted in Japanese on this interview yet. You are a first timer. That's beautiful. So Jessica, what do you do right now in the current times, especially to really stay vibrant and joyful, and as we call it, in the vortex?
I just make sure that I am having fun. Everything I do has to be fun. I'm not one to stick around, and I never was able to stick in a job where I wasn't enjoying myself, or I didn't see the people around me enjoying themselves, and I wasn't, part of a nice, happy community at work. So I'm not going to stick in a boring situation. I have to make things fun, and I have to have a good time doing it.
I love it. And what do you do right now? I mean, with your Japanese community and tribe and your business, what do you do right now in the current times to bring your business to the next level and make it fun? Because that's such an important part for you.
So I am big on games with the Japanese language learning community. A lot of them are using apps, a lot of them are using textbooks, whereas I'm introducing I like to think of it a new way of looking at it. I'm saying, why not do stuff in your life? For example, I did in January a challenge, which was every day you're going to speak Japanese, and you're going to do it whilst we're doing exercises. So for example, squats, bodyweight squats. Every time you do one, instead of saying one, you say ichi, ni, and you count in Japanese instead. So, they're exercising, getting fit, and doing Japanese at the same time. So it's just about thinking about using Japanese in a different way. We had, you drink water, you're supposed to have 6 cups of water. So when you're counting ichi, so each time you take a sip, you could count, or each time you have a whole glass, you count it in Japanese. There's a thing called forest bathing, and part of our challenge was that we go outside and walk in nature. So that's an opportunity again for people to put Japanese on their, Japanese podcast and listen to Japanese as they go outside. So it's just trying to, we're pretending we live in Japan, basically, is what we're doing. It's all about pretend and having fun and playing games and making sure that the community is learning and going back to the inner child, really. And that seems to attract a lot of people who want to get out of the boring way of learning and get into the fun way of learning. And that seems to draw more people to me. I think I behave like myself online, and I'm instead, in the beginning, I was trying to be what I thought people wanted me to be. but I didn't attract people. The number of followers, didn't increase. So I just thought, I'm just going to be quirky, weirdo me, and just come on there and just, wear a onesie on the video and just do silly things, and that just be me. And people seem to be drawn to that more than sensible Jess.
Great. And you also said that quite a while back you were putting your audience's interests ahead of your own.
Yes.
And you had no spark when posting on social media, so you felt like you weren't growing your audience. How did you turn that around? How did you bring that spark in to grow the audience faster?
I kind of stopped listening to so many people. I was constantly, because before I did this, I didn't know anything about sales and marketing or online business. So I'd gone into a tailspin. I was reading all the books I could read. I was listening to all the podcasts I could read. I was following all the gurus I could follow. And I actually lost sight of who I was and what had attracted people to me in the first place, because I ran my community in the beginning just as a community group. It was a free community group back in 2014. And I had 30 people coming every week to the in-person meetings. And people were messaging me saying, from around the world saying, how do we join online? And that's how the online group started. But as soon as I really started to look for people to join and to do the marketing things that other people said worked, and all these things, I started to get serious as a person, I think. And I started to I'd do my live streams, but I was in the back of my head, I was constantly thinking about all the things I had to get into the live stream. And so it was all a bit more wooden when I presented it, and instead of just coming onto the live stream unprepared, if you like, and just saying what I thought needed to be said, and just trying to encourage people to have fun with the language. I just kind of, it's almost like I threw out the script. I had all the scripts, I had all the rules I was supposed to stick to for this online business world, all these things I'd read, you should do this, you should do that, you shouldn't do this, And I just, in the end, I just went, I think I've learned enough. I think I just want to go back to, now that I've learned, I can internalize it and then just let me back out again, because me was kind of inside going, I don't think I like this anymore. So it was like, I can be free again, just be me. And I'm still using strategies and things I've heard, but I'm not being so serious with it.
Yeah. I love it. And I love how you also, you speak from your heart. You speak from your heart in the moment, right? You've done all the groundwork, all the learning. Now you trust yourself. You know what you can do. And, earlier in our conversation beforehand, you mentioned that you have built, you were just coming from your heart. You were just helping people learn the language, right? Yeah. And what I love about your story and your business is that you kind of just followed the flow, and you just followed what people wanted and needed, and you had an open ear to what people wanted and needed. And now you have actually created 5 very distinct, very different, very fun focused, very learning by doing based Japanese learning courses. And you also developed 5 different levels of these courses already, which is amazing, right? So again, just listening to what people need and want, and then just matching it with what is right. It's just a perfect way to go, right?
Yeah.
And so you and I, we always like to really learn by doing, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Okay. I remember the story that you told me where you were supposed to do homework on from textbooks and learning Japanese this way. It didn't work for you, it didn't work for your classmates, and that's how the whole thing kicked off. Very powerful story. And what is one thing you would share with our entrepreneurs here? Our community is speakers, coaches, consultants, really change makers from around the globe that want to bring their business to the next level. What would you suggest they can do to make it fly even more?
So I think stop being so busy all the time and trying to find out how to do things, and just take some time on your own. Do some writing, journaling, whatever works for you. Take a bath, have a shower, just go for a walk, and just let the ideas come to you when they're ready. Because I think sometimes we are looking so hard for the answer to things, and it's actually right there, but we're not giving it the space to come out. We're not giving it the gap to escape from. And I'm sure everyone agrees that, like, when you're in the shower, then when you come up with some amazing ideas, right? You're standing there, you're like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. Because you're actually in that space where you're not usually thinking about work. You're usually just like, I need to get clean, right? I need to wash my hair. So just giving yourself some space. And that if anyone's got a pet as well, I've got a cat, and he will yell at me if I'm working too much. Like, he will actually yell at me if I'm standing around, and he will go and pick up a hairband, which he loves to play with, and he will yell at me until I throw it for him. And just playing with him for 5 or 10 minutes, it seems to give me what we call a second wind. I just get some more inspiration from that, because I'm playing. I'm just having fun playing. And then the ideas flow after that.
I love that. So I would suggest that, every week from one of the interviews, we give you that are here with us right now a little bit of a challenge today. And that might not be get yourself a cat, although it might be a good idea. Okay. But, again, just find one way today to switch off and to do something in a playful way.
Yeah.
And when you come out of that space, just have a pen, have a paper, and just sit there and, with that open mind, with that creativity, with that playfulness, just, sit there for a little while and see what ideas come and write them down. Why don't we make that a challenge today, Jessica? You kind of suggested it already, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Go do something fun. I've actually got it written in the front of here. So this is what somebody said to me: stop, go do something fun.
That sounds cool. I love the creativity and the playfulness and the girliness, and yay, I love that. So again, so this is what our challenge is for you today. So do something playful, something fun, something joyful. If you have a cat, play with a cat. If you have a dog, play with a dog. If not, play with yourself or in another way. And just, again, give it space and let some ideas flow. And we'd love to know, a lot of you are part of our HeartPowered Global Nation share, and our HeartPowered Global Nation. What ideas came up for you? Very curious. And we're all here to cheer you on and make sure that these ideas become real and give your business wings and bring it to a different level. Great, Jessica. I know a lot of people here that are watching this right now. They'd love to connect with you. They'd like to get to know you. Maybe they even want to learn Japanese or, become part of your community. Where can they find you? What's the best way for them to connect with you?
So the word for Japanese is Nihongo, which is Nihongo. And if you put Nihongo and connection into Google, or Ecosia, if you like to plant trees while you search, you will actually get all of my socials on the first page. So Nihongo Connection will find all of the information. And I'm at nihongoconnection.com as well.
Fabulous. Okay, I love that. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Jessica, for being on with us, and thank you all for being on with us and for tapping into new adventures again and again. Maybe learning Japanese is one of them for you, or practicing. Then definitely take the opportunity to connect with Jessica and her amazing community. In the meantime, just again, play with us on the challenge today, okay? And we are curious what ideas come up for you. And thank you so much, Jessica, for being on with us. How do I say it in Japanese now? Thank you.
Arigato.
Arigato.
Arigato. Hai.
Arigato. Okay, thank you. And thanks for being on with us. And all of you, thanks for being on with us. And as you know, every week we introduce you to another one of our inspiring entrepreneurs, thought leaders, change makers. So keep an eye out and be back with us next week. In the meantime, play as much as you can, gather as many fresh ideas as you can, and let's all together, make them real and bring all of us, our business to a different level and make a bigger impact together in the world. All the best for now. Ciao.